Good morning, everybody. Morning, Joe. How are you doing, buddy? Hey, so this is Diego here. I'm waking up in Houston, Texas. Let me show you how the weather's looking today because it seems that it got cold in the evening, and tonight we will only hit the 90s, which is, pretty awesome here. This is like winter's already coming. So if you give me a few minutes, I'm gonna just try to freshen up a little bit and be back with you. So guys, this is my workspace today. I'm a market researcher, so basically that means that I do market research, which is interviewing people, understanding their needs, their wants, their fears, and helping somehow companies understand what is the consumer thinking about, what are they needing, what are they expecting, what are they not expecting, and then allowing these companies to translate that into products or services. I've been doing this for about 20 plus years now. So I started off working in retail, but I soon was interested in understanding a bit more about consumers. Me and some friends, we wanted to study marketing. And I remember the joke was like, hey, you guys, you're trying to find out how to sell stuff to people. And I was a bit more like, no, that's not really what I want doing this, what I'm interested in. I was interested in understanding people, the sociological piece of it. So that's how I started very early on in paying attention to surveys, to results reports and industry reports that telling how people were feeling, spending, living their lives. And to this day, that's the part that interests me the most. I help people from companies, teams, to understand the voice of the consumer. We use several tools for that. So I'm not going to go too much into the details here, but you go basically like qualitative research and quantitative research. So qualitative is everything that has to be with the exploration, what we call soft techniques, interviewing people, having one-on-one conversations. Focus groups are those moments where you gather several people that you are kind of interested in a consumer segment, and these people represent that consumer segment. You gather them all together and you talk about something. So Joe, you can tell them much more about this than I can. Joe and I have worked together and we've used this technique in the past. Then you have the more the quantitative part. I'm sure you have been a victim of quantitative research. Those are surveys. You get something online, someone stops you in a store and say, may I ask a few questions? So those quick questions get all added up into what we call surveys, and that's then quantitative research. So companies basically use that for improving products, improving packaging, developing new services, or creating new products. Personally, that's the piece that I find most interesting. We call it innovation. And I work with innovation. Joe is an expert in innovation. We have worked together in the past in several projects, and we have come up with some pretty awesome ideas. And now some of those ideas are in production. So this is what I do, and a bit of how I do it. When you work on market research and innovation, you have the ability, or maybe say the privilege, of being able to work on very different projects, because again, you're developing a new label or a new packaging for, say, a cleaning product, and then next month you might find yourself looking for, as I'm working these days, what's the future of funerals? What are people going to do with their loved ones once they're gone? So we are working on a project like that, and at the same time we're working with a company called Cisco, which are a very, very big catering company, and they own cafeterias in universities, in colleges, and so we're helping them out understanding a bit better how the college population eats their food, basically. So you see, it's just a very widespread of possibilities and opportunities, and as I said at the beginning, I was always curious about the consumers I'm still are curious about people. So that's basically how I do it and why I do it. So thanks for listening. Joe, thank you very much for inviting me here today. It's been a pleasure, and I wish you the best year possible. You have the best teacher possible. I know that for sure. Goodbye.